You enjoying your time with the Cubs here?
I am. I've got a lot of gratitude just to be part of this ball club, part of this franchise, be able to go pitch in Wrigley Field, in front of these amazing fans, and part of the history here. It's special, and it's something I don't take lightly.
When you signed, you said you kind of have your family history here on your mind.
Yeah.
When you find the pictures, how much did that sort of bring your mind today?
I mean, yeah, my grandfather would love this. Yeah, it's man, you're gonna make me not want. I don't want to talk about that. I'm gonna make me cry or something. No, it's cool. It's really cool, and I know what it means know what it meant to him, know what it means to my dad. Just to put on this uniform, so it's pretty cool.
You rehash that history a little bit. I know all was the
My grandfather grew up here, diehard Cubs fan. He passed in 2019. Just love the Cubbies. I'm sure, the World Series was probably one of his, lifetime highlights sort of thing. So, I mean, he loved the Cubbies so much. We talk always after my starts. I call him on the way home. And he would, as I was getting through my start, he would always let me know how the Cubs, he always wanted to get to the important stuff, right? Yeah, and so it's cool with that. So, yeah, just, I know it means a lot. It means a lot to my dad, because grew up, Cubs were always just something special because, it was special to him. So he passed that on. So to get to, be part of this is really cool. And I'm very, I have definitely, a ton of gratitude.
Did they force you to be a Cubs fan?
I had pennants in my house. I had a Cubs hat that I wore, quite frequently as a kid. It was Cubs. I grew up a pretty diehard Mariner fan, but the Cubs were always special. It was Cubs, Blackhawks, and Bears, and because that's what was special to him. So yeah.
Let's talk about your connection with the catchers and Kelly in particular today.
Yeah, Carson was awesome behind the plate. I mean, amazing game all around. It was awesome to see him, his first start at Wrigley as a Cubby and go deep. But he called a great game. Guys played amazing defense behind me. It's so fun to pitch, with this ball club, behind you, and guys just making plays all over the place. And yeah, it was fun to work with Carson today.
It was your first career start here. Did you pitch before?
Yeah, 2015. It was like a rain delay, back-to-back games where our starters got hurt and the bullpen was taxed. I threw a bullpen before the game, and they one of those times where they said, "Hey, we're gonna need you to pitch an inning today," in like 10 minutes. So ran down there and got loose, sort of thing.
So first career start here, given your history, do you take a moment before you go down? Do you do anything to kind of remember the moment,
yeah,
as a starter here?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't able to get a big league contract before last season. So you never know what the future holds. You always believe you can do it, right, and whatnot. So I guess it put things into perspective. And I every time I take that walk on the field, I just try to take a moment, and just soak it in, because it's like you're a big league baseball player, and now I'm pitching for the Chicago Cubs and at Wrigley Field. So there was definitely a moment I was walking out there to just recognize that and be grateful, understand where you are, and it's really special.
So Craig said you were okay, but just where did that comebacker get you?
It caught me right in the arm.
And you were fine?
I mean, yeah, it's a little embarrassing more than anything, but yeah, I'll be okay. Well, we got a good training staff. We'll take care of it.
You got an assist down there.
Yeah, I know. A nice little 1-4-3. Yeah.
It would be easy to think that having Tommy John in your 30s, that was going to be the end. But obviously, you're pitching as well as you ever have so far this season.
Thank you.
What was it like to come back through that and find your groove again?
I mean, the belief was never not there. I knew what I was going to do. I had a lot of time to reflect. This is what I'm going to do when I come back. But you never know if the opportunity will present itself. So you just prepare and you go, man, when the ball's in my hand, I know what I'm going to do. And, hopefully someone gives me the chance to hold that ball. And if not, then, that's out of my control. But the belief was always there, and there's a lot of time of reflection, right, in that year plus of when you don't get to play for playing a game, and it's like, what do I want to do when this whole, it's kind of it was a perspective thing, right? When through the beginning of rehab, it's like a year from now, what will I wish I had done, and when that time comes, what do I want to do? What do I believe in? And so it's never, if that kind of answers it, right? It's always been a belief in what I knew I could do. It's just waiting for the opportunity to do it.
Each ballpark has its own personality, but
Yeah.
what was the buzz like here? What is the buzz like here for you?
It's so special. I mean, to sit back and watch Shota pitch yesterday and experience kind of the fans and the energy, before the first pitch and, during the game. It was something really cool that, you're excited to go be a part of when it's your time to go pitch. So getting to do that out there today and hear the fans, get loud and, it's such an intimate setting. It's really special.
What do you think of the moment where they honored Pat first out of the game?
Yeah.
You say just about the longevity.
It's pretty special, right? You think of the select list that there's very few people that get to do. I mean, get to 1,000 games started is special in its own regard. You get to do it with the same ball club, and to hear the people that are doing it with the same ball clubs that are active, but also the guys that do it that have done it in Chicago, and the list of names that he's with. It speaks to his, obviously his longevity, his preparation, who he is as a teammate, and who he is as a person. He's one of the first guys to reach out to me when I signed here. So I'm really grateful to be his teammate. It's always been fun to compete against him in the past, but what an awesome accomplishment for him, and it's really cool to see him hit that milestone.
This Cubs lineup is proving to be really patient, taking walks, on bats.
Mhm.
How frustrating is that for a pitcher? I'm sure you face lineups like that.
Yeah, it's hard when you have a patient lineup. It sometimes makes you have to counter, right? And there's a fair amount of pop in this lineup where you can't just pour it over, right? You can't just pour in strikes because that someone could jump you at the same time. So I think we just have a great lineup, great squad. We have a lot of different approaches up there, and it's fun to be part of this ball club.